Ah, we're in. Good morning, everybody. Let's see if I can get people in. Excellent. Krista's in. Hello, Krista. So we can get you in here. Hello.
Hi. I can't see you. You're black. Your skin is black.
Oh, there you are. That's better. Can you hear me, Krista?
Yes, I
Hey,
hear you.
you're looking good. I was gonna say you scrub up well today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How's your weekend going so far? Just while some more people are joining.
Going absolutely wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, actually. I'm all excited. I feel like it's quite dark on my side, so I'm hoping we don't give off too many spooky vibes, but we're all excited for today. This is gonna be good.
Me too. I just like counted down the hours and minutes, and I was like, oh, 5 more minutes. Oh, that's so exciting.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I had a real nightmare setting up the page actually. I was trying to find the start button and yeah, it took me a while. And I was like, oh my God, it's 11:01. So yeah, I think we're fine, which
Good.
is all exciting. But yeah, we can probably kick off in a sec, but should we give it another minute just for other people to come in?
Yeah, sure. Let's wait a couple of minutes more and let's see how many
For
people
sure.
join, and then we
Yeah,
can kick it off.
definitely, because I'm really excited to chat to you because I know from just everything we've talked about in the past, your story is really, really exciting. And
Oh,
I
thank
find it
you.
for sure it's really inspirational. So we can maybe we'll get to 11:05, then we can hit it and see what we get to.
Yeah, I'm super excited to hear why you started your online dating coaching career too. I know a couple of things about you now, but I still want to know what your passion is and like what did you make the switch to online dating? And I think it's a beautiful branch to work into, so I cannot wait to hear that from you.
Oh, absolutely. And we could start, should we get cracking? So yeah,
Sure.
yeah, fantastic. So, Krista, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited for this chat, and we can finally talk about, who pays the bill on the first date and all other fun first date things. But hopefully, maybe we can start with maybe you can give us a little intro on yourself because I'm sure everybody will want to know a lot about that, and we can kind of get cracking.
Sure. So, hi everybody. Welcome so much to our first live stream together with Will and me. I'm Krista. 8 years ago, I decided to turn my life around completely, and that was because I have a passion for photography, very much so. I was always walking around with a camera, and one day, a friend of mine asked me, like, Krista, do you want to make photos for my online dating profile? And I was like, sure, I'll do it, no problem. And he told to me like, um, you know what you should do? You should become an online dating photographer. So I became that, and my entrepreneurial career started by that. And I was the very first Tinder photographer of the whole Netherlands, and I'm super proud of that. And I started with an old camera and wrapped it around in a towel just a normal backpack. And I worked my way up, and the profits I made, I actually bought a real photography bag, stuff like that. And every year I saw my business grow, and I get so busy. And clients always ask me like, "Oh, you're so wonderful. Can I have more time with you? Could you please help me out with dating?" And I was like, no, sorry, I don't have the time and I cannot do it. And I always had to tell them no. And then something this year happened to me, which totally took me out of the photo shoots. And I won't tell why because I want to make it happy and light. But I finally could make the time now to start the wish of my clients, and that's online dating. So here I am.
Oh, it's fantastic. And when you had that sort of rapid growth, it's like what did that feel like? did you suddenly have to just take a lot more like people on or kit on or manage things a lot better? Because that's a really exciting feeling.
It was, and it was so overwhelming, but at the same time, it gave me really a huge satisfaction as being that I grew it all by myself.
Mm.
I learned how to code a website. I learned how to manage my clients and the bookings and plan them in. And I learned so much about not only business, online marketing, but so much about my personal growth as well. And that is the thing that really like stand by me. Like if you really have a passion for what you do and you give it your all, it pays back in making you the best version of yourself. And I truly want to give that back to my online dating clients as well with my upcoming course, Be More Matchful. I want to have it the same mindset as I develop myself during my photography business. Yes, definitely.
And I love just how passionate you get about everything, even if it's still your photography and your dating coming up. And with your course coming up, when does that start? Or can people sign up for this on your website?
I don't have a set date because I don't work with deadlines, unfortunately.
Mm.
But I
Got that.
everything already figured out, and I did my research. I did made the scripts, but the only thing I need to do is make the videos. And I don't know when it will come out, but I will try to give it my all. Yes, definitely. I already have another brilliant service right now online and launched, and that's the virtual coffee dates. And I thought like now with the AI booming and all, I thought what is the most humane service I can give? And that is practicing via a role play service with video call your online dating game of your dating, because many people, especially men, get nervous when they need to go on a date. I know I was when I was dating. I was incredibly nervous, and I felt like, how cool would it be if you can just practice with me in a safe zone, in a safe place, like a video call program like Zoom, and practice your dating game with me. That's so exciting. So I already got that launch. You can book that right now if you want to.
Oh, fantastic. I completely agree. I really, really love coffee dates. I think they're the dream first date. I personally recommend them to anybody because it's this really low effort, low investment, zero pressure way of just finding out whether you like this other person. Because, yeah, like you say, nerves are high as they are on any first date. So let's take it back a bit. Let's make it really easy. And if they can have like a very gentle coffee date with you, then that sounds like a very nice way to start. I'm very jealous. I think it's a great plan, great idea.
Yeah,
Definitely should have done that before you got in on it.
you should absolutely do it with your clientele as well. Yeah,
Because what you
definitely.
now need is if you have like the women on our side and the men on your side, after they've done the practice coffee dates, you pair them up with one another almost, and they can we can matchmake at the same time.
Brilliant. We become a dating
We've
agency at the end of the day.
done very well, haven't we? We have done well. Oh, fantastic. And I'm so glad it's such a brilliant background for yourself. And I really do find what you do very passionate. Do you still keep up with photography? Or is this something that's maybe taken more of a backseat so you can focus on your next step?
For now, it has definitely taken a backseat. Actually, I stopped it completely this year, but I want to pick it up and combine it, both of them together. So I got like um, two expertise that I can focus on, and maybe I can like if a client books for my photo shoots, I can say like, oh, I got also a coaching service for you that would suit you really well,
Yeah.
so I can combine it to yeah.
Hey, that's terrific. Damn, that's very cool.
Thank
I was gonna say, I know my story is slightly different. It is will always be very
you.
different because it's more from I know you've clearly had like take excellent photos and that's kind of blossomed from there. But mine kind of comes from not being the best at something, but from being very much the worst at something, which was I know personally it was probably when I was about 20, 21. I think I came out of a very, very toxic long-term relationship, which yeah, completely shattered my confidence. I had no idea where to start, no idea what to do. I completely forgot how to talk to anyone as a girl, and I was completely useless at this point. And after a couple of weeks, I think of feeling a little bit helpless, a little bit down, I promised myself that we would never feel like this ever again. because things had to get better. And probably at this point decided, okay, let's just approach someone, let's say something and let's see what happens. And let's just talk to some women and see if any success comes from it whatsoever. And at first, it just really didn't. It was terrible. But I think after making a lot of approaches, probably in the hundreds or the thousands at this point, but after making literally every mistake possible, it's really interesting how something just clicked and just confidence slowly grew, and all of a sudden I found that I was at this point where I knew I could approach anybody, I could say anything, and you don't need to. You realize that you don't need any gimmicks, you don't need anything, any scripted lines or anything. You don't need to try anything or trick people. You just need to literally go up to them, say hi confidently, and just ask them how their day's going. It's really, really interesting how everybody is desperate for you to come say hi to them, even if they don't seem like they're very approachable. That's like 9 times out of 10, people who don't look approachable just are having a really bad day and they want someone to come sweep them off their feet and say hello. So it's really interesting. It's like all of a sudden you're blind and then you can suddenly see things that are right in front of you. And I think the thing it was almost when I started work and I had loads of people nearby, close to me that were struggling with dating, and they would almost come up to me and say, well, what do I say to this text? What do I say to that? What do I do if he's not talking to me? And all of a sudden, I found myself on like the receiving side of this, and having maybe women or friends who just didn't quite know how guys act or how they think or how they would approach. And I suddenly thought, well, hang on, I've got a little bit of experience in this, or actually quite a lot of experience in this, and could sort of do the flip side. So I feel like now that I've got this toolkit together, I want to help sort of people, that women mainly it seems to be, sort of help them avoid men that are maybe slightly have more toxic behavior or more manipulative behavior, or someone who's emotionally unavailable, and help guide them towards maybe the man that's a little bit better for them, and someone that maybe they want but they don't know how to strike up a conversation, and just help them start avoiding the wrong people but find the right ones. So it's a nice little sort of 360, but it's mainly because I want to make sure that no one out there feels the way that I did when I started. And if they do, I want to help them as much as I can, because I had no one when I first started, and I don't want anyone to feel like that or quite so helpless. So that's how that really blossomed, which is quite interesting.
I totally get you, and I've been there before with toxic relationship, and it did like such a blow on my self-esteem. I really had years and years of building myself back up again. So I totally can relate with you how hard it is to get back up your feet in such a relationship. I don't think it's discussed enough in mainstream media, on social media, how much of um, damage it does to your heart and mental health, to recover from a toxic relationship. So I actually love that you are willing to help other people, especially women, to get more healthy in the way how they handle relationships. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's very sweet of you. Thanks, Krista.
Yeah.
For sure. I know don't you don't strike me as someone who'd ever struggle with a relationship at all. So I mean, it's great to kind of just chat to someone who's opening up a little bit more and very very open about all of this. For sure.
Absolutely. I think it's best to open up about your struggles as well. I really don't mind telling more private situations to you as well. I think by doing so, it's vulnerability, and we can review a bit from our struggles and our hardships. And what you said about why you came to this, I relate to that so much as well, because if you struggle with a certain skill and you don't know how to begin with like online dating or photography or whatever it may be, you need to fail and fall really hard. I know I forgot my batteries on shoots, I forgot my camera, I need to run back home. I did the most horrible things. And always made those customers, especially those customers, my friends, because in the end you know how to solve it, and with the big smile, and you make something funny out of it, and that's the moment you grow personally so much more than just
Mhm.
having a normal regular life without any mistakes and struggles. And I think you said that really beautifully about growing yourself. And I think online dating is a skill, especially now with social media and online dating. Yes.
I think so. I really agree, actually, especially with, I know, just to kind of jump to another point we're going to talk about, but yeah, Instagram, I know it's huge and we can connect really, really easily, but it does feel more and more, maybe less from my side, but I know a lot of clients and a lot of friends, they have a lot of guys sliding into their DMs, trying to set up dates and try to chat. It does feel like Instagram is becoming like another Tinder or another Hinge, and everybody can come in and start a conversation, but it's like you have more access to people. You know more about their life. Is that something which I know comes in a lot with your clients, or is it something you try and tell them not to touch on?
I think Instagram is, for me, not the right platform to
Mm,
date on. I think it is a right platform to connect and use it as a stepping stone to get somebody's phone number or Telegram or WhatsApp or whatever messaging app you use, and actually connect with them in real life. I don't think you need to stay on Instagram too long for online dating. I think you need to take it off and actually enjoy each other's company in the real world. I think that's the most important thing, that you embrace the real life
mm.
more than, oh,
Oh, I
yeah.
completely agree, actually. It does feel, I mean, I'm really interested in what you think, but to me, it feels like it's becoming the new phone number. Like you can still use Instagram to set up a face-to-face date, which is way better because we're all here for face-to-face. But it feels like it's more personal than a phone number almost. And I know we started with numbers, and I feel like it's turned into WhatsApp, and then all of a sudden people are saying, "Oh, so here's my Instagram handle." And it feels a little bit more intimate to me. I don't know what you think about that, but
Yeah, totally. It's way different. I would never ever share my Instagram or social media, my personal ones. If I would have that, I deleted them many years ago.
mm,
But I would never ever share that with a man or with a date, or no, I would just give my phone number and that's
yeah.
it. Maybe I'm a bit old-fashioned, but no, it feels way too personal. I'd shared so many personal stories, photos of me that really, it feels like getting too close to me, and I want to keep that. So if you really are getting to me with the dating stage, then I would maybe suggest to follow me. But no, it's way too personal. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Because you are, and you talk about traditional, you do more sort of traditional dating, don't you, for your clients? I was gonna say, what made you want to go into that? Because I agree personally, that's the kind of setup I tend to like. And I'm supportive of anyone who has a different view. We can work with that, but I tend to think that traditional is probably what's more attractive to men and women deep down. But what's your take on it? What got you into that one?
I think traditional is like making a comeback almost. I think it
Mm.
will be the next trend fashion-wise because
Oh,
we balance in feminine energy and masculine energy, and we are a bit lost now today in this era. And I want to make sure my clients know that what is true masculine energy and how that we like influences feminine energy, because if your masculine energy isn't right, it influences her to step into more masculine energy, and then the relationship is out of balance. I have this done this to me before in my personal
yeah.
relationship back in the day. I really didn't like that, and that made me realize I need to work on myself, and I did that really good, and that's what opened my eyes to traditional relationships and the feminine and masculine energy more. So that's why
Mm.
it's important to educate men, for me and for you for men, to get more back into balance, like how it used to be. And maybe we can combine it a bit with like the good things of the modern era and the good things of the traditional house, maybe making something magical.
Mm. Oh, I completely agree. And I know you talk about your personal life there. Is that, if you don't mind me asking, because I could completely understand if this isn't something to share on Instagram with the world, but that kind of imbalance, is that, do you think, more men who are more feminine at the moment in this modern climate? Because it feels like that's on the rise, personally. And I know I probably fell into this trap when I was like 16, 17, but yeah, it feels like it's more on the rise. Men that are slightly more maybe feminine, or maybe they're just too scared to be masculine because it seems to have a lot of negative connotations in today's world. But how would you fix that? What would you do for someone who's struggling with that?
I totally agree with you. I think men become more feminine, and I think there's also a decline in our testosterone levels as men. So we need to work on that. Need to eat properly, go to the gym, and really take care of our mental health. Like, know what is influencing our testosterone levels. And for a woman, we also need to know what influences our female hormones, like estrogen,
Hmm.
because right now our diet are out of balance as well. And if you're on birth control, it really influences your um, female hormone levels, as you probably know as well. So I would really like to educate men on that more. And I think that's personally, if I look back on my personal relationships, I think that is what went wrong. Like, men were too much sucked into an online world with gaming, for example, and weren't working out as much anymore, weren't getting the fresh air they need, the sunshine on their faces and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and then neglect their diet as well. And that's just a shame. I think there's so much small things we can do to improve that.
Yeah, oh, big time. So out of the basement into the gym for sure. It's a shame we haven't got any like just sponsors for Shiba Juice or something. We could definitely plug that right now to boost testosterone. For sure. But yeah, no, I see that one a lot all the time, and we have a lot of I'd say it sounds like I know masculine women seem to come more into the lens a little bit more today, especially with things are becoming like boss girls and pushing into the corporate world a little bit more. But I would have thought the bigger thing is that, yeah, you've got more feminine men, which we need to kind of fix and give them more of a guidance. But looking at that a little bit more, when it comes to the first date, when we're looping back to our topic today,
Mhm.
who do you think should pay? Or, if the man were to offer to pay, or sorry, if the woman was to offer to pay, would that be emasculating, do you think, or should it be? We've got a loaded question here, for sure.
It is such a difficult question, but
Mm.
I think personally, when that moment comes, when the waiter brings your bill, it is so nerve-wracking, right?
Mm.
So I think if you want to prepare yourself as a man, I think you need to think first about your values. Like, what are your values? Are you traditional minded or a bit more modern and progressive, And if you have that set in stone and you know really well what you are about, I think before you go on the date, you should ask your date, like, how do you think you want to live in the future? And like, future
Yeah.
self, how does it look like? Do you want to work for yourself? Do you want to work for a corporate? Uh, do you want to work a 9 to 5 life? What do you want, and what would you desire to have? And so you are more aligned with each other, or maybe not, and it totally clashes. And in front before the date starts, like, okay, she doesn't match up my values, and I need to look further, or she totally does. And um, I think that gives you more preparation and more ease of mind if the waiter comes with a bill and you already know, like, oh, all right, she is more of the boss babe energy, and I can
Mm.
split a bill with her, and it's more of a comp inside you. I think that's the way you can tackle it. One of the ways. What do you think?
I see. I think so. This is probably me being a little bit more traditional, but personally, I would have thought the dream setup is, if you're on a first date, I think the girl should offer, and then I think the man should go, no, don't be ridiculous. I've got this. And I think the guy should probably pay on the first date. It's me being more traditional, but yeah, that's what I think. I think if you as a woman offer and he says, okay, cool, thanks, I think that's still okay as long as this doesn't go on forever. If it comes to the second date, then, he should be paying for things. Or, if you get the coffee and things go on well and you find yourself at dinner later, he should be the one to say, okay, well, you got this early, so I'll grab this. So maybe instead of you, I would definitely not go Dutch personally. I don't think as much. I know you're in the Netherlands now. You probably people go Dutch all the time, but I would take turns, so it feels less transactional. It feels less corporate and like you're paying for each other's time, and more like you're enjoying what's going on. And this is a genuine, really good connection you have, and the money thing just kind of is in the background. I got this one, you get the next one, whatever. That's how I would treat it.
That's,
And I think if
yes.
Yeah, we'll see if that catches on again. I think it probably does happen quite a lot. We have a lot of people saying that this happens, which is good. So
Yeah, I did this thing with when I was dating. I offered to pay, and the man I was dating, he told me like, no, it's okay. I'm going to pay for you, and he paid the entire dinner. So it's
good
exactly.
on him. Good on Mr. Krista. If this is Mr. Krista, it might not be Mr. Krista, but good on him all the same.
He did. He did really well. Yeah.
Oh, bless him. And then, and then I guess actually just looking at a few questions we have coming in, because I know we're listening through time really nice actually. Looking at some of these questions we've had coming in, would you, yeah, here we go. Hugs on the first date when you first meet someone. Yay or nay? What do we think?
What was the question? I'm sorry. Yay or nay?
Would
What?
you, if you just met a guy on a first date, would you give him a hug when you first meet him, or should you give him a hug when you first meet him?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Why not? If I need a date, a special date, on my first date, I will definitely go for a hug or kisses on the cheek like that. Why not?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Kiss on the cheek is nice. I feel like hug is a hard yes. You have to because you've broken the touch barrier straight away. It's really attractive. But kiss on the cheek, that's even better. It's like that's something you would do for a friend at the very least, and it keeps it open to become something even more than that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. What would you do if you see your date coming to you on your first time dating each other?
Oh, definitely a massive hug. I mean, it wouldn't be fist bumping, that's for sure, but massive hug, maybe even a little kiss on the cheek. But but yeah, big hug, I think, and then off you go. Maybe that big hug, and then as you walk off as a man, I sort of tap him on the shoulder and say, "Hey, we're gonna go over here." Just so you're getting a little bit more touch in there. It's quite sneaky, but it's good. But yeah, big hug, I think, is quite
Yeah,
nice.
if you touch her like, oh, let's go here, and you tap on the shoulder like that, it
Yeah.
would be so nice. Observe her like, oh, she likes it, or she like bounces away a little, and you're like, okay, I need to keep my distance a little, you know? Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Oh, it definitely feels like something you should be calibrating. Like you should keep track of where you are. Like if you touch someone, if you touch tap a girl on the shoulder, or you go to hold her hand or something, and she pulls away, then I feel like that's definitely a really fine, nuanced social thing that probably a lot of men struggle with. But I know I struggled with a lot before. But yeah, just keeping track of that and thinking, okay, how comfortable is this person with me, and do we need to dial it back a bit? And can we slowly increase it slightly as we go on? So if we're walking along and I go to hold her hand and she takes it, it's like, cool, that's great. But if she pulls away, then that's okay. We'll just dial things back a bit and we can slowly step it back up. For
It,
sure.
it reminds me of a client I had, and he booked me like almost every year on repeat. It
Oh,
was so cute. And he asked me, Krista, what do I need to do if I meet a girl and I'm dating her during COVID? Should I even go there, or should I go?
what elbow
He was like,
elbow bump?
please do it. It's such a nice
Practically
way.
like making out in the COVID age, the little elbow bump.
Yeah, it was such strange times, but I even said like, oh, just please go for the hug.
I think so. I know it feels like a long time ago, COVID, but yeah. God, dating changed a lot during that, didn't it?
I did, yeah.
And what other sort of tips would you have for someone if it's their first date or for a guy, let's say?
When they go on a first date.
Mm.
Yeah, so I would say like what I also say to my clients if they come to me for photo shoots, I always say like do one piece of like a set of clothing that makes you feel comfortable, like your favorite sweater or jeans that fit you really well. I think that is a huge thing for men that they actually feel comfortable and not wearing like a suit that and a tie that like chokes them a little. Like no, just be comfortable, be yourself and present yourself like you actually are. I think it's a great thing to do. Investing in some basic shoes that suit your body well, that
Mm.
accentuate your muscles, stuff like that. Maybe a dark jeans or something, stuff like that. Um, I think, well, getting to understand your values and asking her about hers and where you see her in the future,
Mm.
getting to know really well and looking her into the eyes is like a wonderful thing to have him for that as well. And just be yourself and have fun. I think that's the most important thing. And maybe we overthink it all too much, and it all just boils down to really connecting with each other in real life, as you truly are yourself and being the best version of yourself. Absolutely.
Oh God, yeah, I completely agree. It really should just feel like you're going to see a friend for a quick catch up or something, or for a coffee or something. I mean,
Yeah.
I know I get really pedantic. I always say, well, I go for coffee because it's so easy and it doesn't need to be exciting. You're not trying to impress this other person. You're just literally trying to find out whether there's any chemistry there, whether you like each other. It shouldn't even feel like a date. It really should just feel like you're meeting up with a friend for coffee. And if they happen to sweep you off your feet with chemistry, or you happen to say something that they just love, then that's fantastic. You can hopefully set this up for something else. But I feel like if you try too hard, on both sides, if guys try too hard or if girls try too hard, then it's really, really clear, and it puts a lot of pressure on this innocent little date. Suddenly, I know as a guy, I've been on so many dates where you're sitting there and bless, bless all these women. They're all dressed up and they've got really good makeup on. They've tried really, really hard, but at the same time, it does make me think, okay, well, am I looking good enough? Or that's a lot of pressure on this date. And do we have to go do something afterwards? What if I finish this and I've got to go, go to the gym or something? It's pressure, and that kills all the interaction. It kills any kind of flirting. I feel like everyone's too nervous to make a move. Whereas
Yeah,
if
you
you're,
get into a
uh,
partner and you need
yeah,
to get it out. Feel the energy between you guys. It's
mm.
so important.
Oh, absolutely. It just feels like you need to have, t-shirt, jeans, something casual, something you would wear over the weekend at home. And when no one's looking at you, just wear that. That'll be fine. Pair of
Yeah.
trackies, it's fine. But I'd
And what
probably always. Sorry, Chris.
what would you go say to a woman if she needs any tips for the first date? Your
Women
top
need
three.
any. This is quite nice because we get this quite a bit, which I like. I would say I would recommend coffee dates. I've done that one to death, but I would also say have a favorite place you go to on a first date, like a favorite coffee place, and I would always go there. So somewhere where you're most relaxed, you're most at ease, so your nerves are going to be at a minimum. And yeah, I would keep it very simple, keep your outfit very simple. I would have potential things lined up that you could go do afterwards, like a romantic walk to somewhere else. If you wanted to go walk across the countryside, then that's on the cards, but I wouldn't offer it. I'd have all these other follow-ups in your back pocket, knowing that you get to choose if you want to do them, if you decide that there's any chemistry here. I think it gives you a little bit more control. There's no pressure because you're in your favorite coffee place, and if this thing doesn't work out, and it's like, hey, it's at worst a very funny story. At best, we saved a lot of time and a lot of energy, and I can just go do something else. It should be fun. It should be really, really fun,
Yeah,
regardless of what
it's
happens.
so relaxed if you tell it like that, right?
Mm.
So the pressure and you can actually enjoy each other's company. That's perfect.
Oh, time. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I think it should be. So, relaxed outfit. I agree with you, big time. I would have go for a relaxed coffee, favorite place, and then have potential things lined up afterwards. Because then it's spontaneous, which is the other thing. You can say, well, you finish your coffee and you think, yeah, I like this guy. You could almost say, hey, do you want to go for a quick walk? There's this great little place around the corner that makes X, Y, Z. It's a little stroll across the field, but I'm sure you can manage that. You can do something, you can make it really quite spontaneous, because some of the best dates are like that, for sure.
That's what life in general is like that, right? The
Mm,
most beautiful thing and most enjoyable things that you truly remember are spontaneous things. Yes.
I think so. Oh God, yeah, big time.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic. I mean, those are all the tips I'd give, and I think
Wonderful tips. I think,
we've
yeah.
done really well. We've hit half an hour on this call. Right? Half an hour chatting about dating. We could go on for hours easily. Oh,
That's so
oh.
wonderful. Maybe
Hmm.
the audience has some questions for us to answer.
That's a good point, actually. If anyone has any questions, then pop a comment below and we'll sweep them up now quickly because we both love chatting about this.
Yeah. I'm curious
If
to
not, that's
see
cool
what.
too.
Don't be shy.
That is a good point. Otherwise, I would say to anyone watching this, if you're a man looking for advice or you have any photo shoot queries or you just want to go on a virtual coffee date, check out Krista's page. That's at Dating Coach Krista. She is, oh, I love your reels so much on your page at the very least. Like your date inspiration ones just make me feel really nostalgic for like the 60s. That was never there, but it looks so, everything looks so wonderful in your reels. And I really hope you keep making more content for sure.
Thank you so
I mean, well, are you
much.
going to, at some point, are you going to have any videos where you make an appearance on them, on your reels?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm planning to do much fun videos with myself in it. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe I can do the vintage style that you already see. That's a good
Mm.
idea, actually.
Yeah, go for it. And we have a question which is quite cool. So Tanish Q underscore 217. I'm so sorry, man, if I butchered your name. Please don't kill me. Should a guy or a girl bring something like flowers or a little gift on the first date? That's interesting. This might be one for you. I imagine this is more something the guy would tend to do. What do you think, Krista? Quickly.
And, well, I will just show up empty-handed. I'm so sorry.
No, I actually agree with you. I think
But yeah, definitely.
it's a really sweet idea, actually, Tash. I like that a lot, actually, especially for maybe dates down the line. Maybe if it's like the third date or the fourth date, you can bring a little gift which links back to something that you've talked about before, maybe. So I mean, I don't know what you think, Krista, but maybe if she said that she likes, what does she like? It could be anything. If she likes walking or something, you could have a little keychain of a pair of walking boots or something. Something small that makes her think to herself, goodness, you've listened to what I've said to you on date number one and date number two. And so something little trinkets like that are really, really nice actually. I think from a guy's perspective, let me know what you think, Chris, but from a guy's perspective, I think it's really
Yeah,
kind. I
that's
think it's really thoughtful.
I would enjoy that so much if you listen to me and I said something personal about myself, like the hiking, and you buy me a
Mm,
little chain with hiking boots on it. Oh my gosh, I would be melted. Like my heart would melt so much. But yeah, flowers are a perfect way of showing like,
mm,
hey, I care about you. I think about you. I'm so excited for this date, and I think chivalry, I think you
mm.
pronounce like that in English, is a
Yeah.
bit dying. You need to bring it back. Like handwritten notes are so perfect as well. Like, oh, I would like be so touched if somebody writes a handwritten note like, "Hey, I enjoyed your company the last day. Um, we're now doing this on this date, and thank you so much for your time," or something like that. Like a really small thing. Yeah, I would enjoy it so much. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I like that. You could even take that a step further. You could have like a handwritten note,
Mhm.
which I don't know if you've ever done this, like watching those 5, 10 minute origami videos on YouTube. You could have like a handwritten note that you could like twist into either a swan or to a little boat or something. That's quite cute. That's quite cute. And then that way,
Oh, that's cool. And like your signature thing. And if you guys
yeah,
think you can like hide them in your house, then she can like discover it like your hand.
exactly.
I
That's
love it.
actually really sweet. Yeah, I think that works quite well actually, and it's not going to be try hard either, which is the other thing I'd be thinking about. Because if you rock up with like, I think flowers on the first date, I probably wouldn't do. Tennis, I probably wouldn't do it on either party actually, because the first date shouldn't really feel like a date. It should just be you find out whether you like one another. But I would say maybe on like the third date or the fourth date, yeah, you can definitely. Flowers is really sweet if she likes flowers for sure. Otherwise, it might come off slightly generic if she thinks, well, if she doesn't like flowers, for instance, and you rock up with flowers, you might just think, oh, he's just trying to buy affection. So I'd make it as personal as you possibly can using things she's told you. So yeah, if she likes sailing or if she likes, kayaking or something, the little boat is a good one. That's a great one you could do. But yeah, so what do you think, Kristen?
Those are such good tips. I couldn't add something to it. I fully agree with you. Yeah, it's perfect.
It was very sweet.
So they can truly listen to her. I think women miss out really much that men listen well to what they say. So yes.
I actually remember, so my current partner, who is, love her to bits, really do. I remember she did something which I will always remember, which is it must have been our second or third date. We had been chatting about how, you know, penguins, when they get engaged essentially down the road, they, the male penguin will go find like the nicest pebble on the beach and give it to the female penguin as like an engagement pebble. And I remember thinking that's really, really sweet. And I chatted to her at the time and I said, I love this idea. It's so traditional and I love that. And it's so sweet and it's in nature. And we did on this like second or third date, she came up with like this little pebble and said, well, this is because of the thing we talked about earlier. And I remember thinking that's so thoughtful. She's listened to what I've said, which is great. And it sits on my nightstand now. I've still got it, which is really, really sweet.
You
So
should
I think, yeah.
yes.
Well, I do cherish it, and I think that's the thing. You end up giving this person something which they'll look at and they will think of you forever, that's really powerful, and in a good way. It's like good power. It's not manipulative power. It's good power.
Yeah.
Mm. But yeah. So if anyone has any other questions, now's your time. Otherwise, we'll happily. I was gonna say we can happily. Oh.
Please don't forget to follow our host, Will. He's amazing with sharing traditional content for women, single women. I think we desperately need, as women, a more traditional mindset that is more in balance with our feminine energy and makes our feminine energy soft and quiet and comfortable. And we can really express ourselves so well. I think Will, you do that brilliantly, and I always enjoy your videos explaining like little tips on how to improve your dating life. I really, really appreciate you doing that.
Oh. Thanks, Krista. And the same way, I'm so glad you like them. And in the same way, I know I just want to help anyone I can, but I love your videos. I really do. They're so just nostalgic, and I feel like traditional dating is making a comeback. It's like ABBA. So it's wonderful and wonderful to watch. So please don't stop making them. And anyone watching this wants to get more ideas or date ideas or inspiration or things you should be doing on dates, then please check out Krista's content because it's fantastic. And we do have a question to Al. What happens if you like her or him and you want a second date, but they reject you? Ooh,
Oh yeah.
I like that one. Hmm?
That happened to me too many years ago. Many years.
Yeah,
Oh,
what did you do?
I cried.
Oh no! You
Yeah.
you like him a lot, I'm guessing. If you clearly want a second date, but I guess you were really, 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 really into this guy.
Yeah, it happens. It's life. Sometimes you think there's chemistry and you end up like, oh no, it's not working out.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, no, well, I agree.
What would you do? What would you advise her with?
Well, my advice would be if they've said they don't want another date. You've asked them for a second date, so you made it clear that you're interested, and they've said no. I think that the best you can do is you can act like it's not a, you can say it's not a big deal. You can say, okay, well, take it as a compliment, and that's absolutely fine. And I think you move on. You go, you just date other people. You might very well find that it could be there are so many reasons that somebody would reject you, and I'd probably say about half of them are due to their own insecurities. They seem to be scared of certain things. The other half might be that you're just not the right fit, which is absolutely fine. No one's the right fit for everybody, but it does mean that you shouldn't be wasting your time trying to make something work with someone that it's not going to work with. So instead, I'd say, look, let's go set up another coffee date with someone else. You keep going. Enjoy the process. The outcome will happen if you just enjoy the journey a little bit.
That's so beautiful side of you. And I want to add, like, if you notice that it doesn't go well on the first date and you are not really into him or her, that you explain why it's not working out between you guys and not just ghost each other, because that's so rude. And I think we should make it a trend of properly communicating with each other why it doesn't work out. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's really great. That's really beautiful, actually. I like that because nobody does that now. It sounds really, really nice, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, well, thank you very much, Chris. It sounds like we've got no other questions coming in. I hope that answered your question now. But unless anyone has any other questions, I would say please reach out to Chris. Like, follow, share all of her stuff because she's wonderful.
And so
And
to you.
thanks, Chris. And I hope you have just the best afternoon. I hope Netherlands in the afternoon is lovely. I hope it's not as drizzly as it is here. We've got very rainy London. But
It
I
is
hope
every day. We could dance in the rain and make it our own little party.
oh, we're using that as a quote for this session, big time. So I'm gonna go dance in some rain then. I'm gonna go make a party, and I hope you have the best afternoon ever. And for everybody who's joined, thank you so much for joining us. And if you have any tips, you can reach out to either of us. But otherwise, keep dating, have the best time ever, and I'll see you later.
Thank you so much, Will, for hosting this.
Oh,
And
it's my pleasure.
really enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching and interacting with us and engaging. I hope to see you maybe next time, Will. That's it.
Yes, let's set up another one, big time.
Why not?
We'll do it. We'll definitely set this up. I have a great, yeah, we'll set something. We can do another question. We'll do something bigger. But yes, big time. And anyway, have a lovely, lovely afternoon, everybody, and thanks for joining. And I'll see you in the next one.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.